million in freebies, is expected to make between $70 to $75 million domestically, 160 to 175 million worldwide this opening weekend. So we are well on the way to the road to Avengers and Secret Wars. All right, so let's talk about it, how we got here, where we're going. This is Father.Son.Galaxy. We are live from the Regal Theater in Kenosha, Pennsylvania. I am Kerwin. This is Keith. How you doing? That's it? Okay. All right. Well, very good. All right. So let's get into it then. All right. Last year, this was at the San Diego Comic Con when we first heard the news or saw the reveal of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Now, which was a shock to everybody. Okay.
No, it's not that.
Right. So when you saw that reveal, how did you feel?
I had no idea how they were going to pull it off. Because all the people in the cast. Some sort of alternate Avengers, evil Avengers.
Interesting.
Captain Hydra, Iron Man being Dr. Doom, stuff like that.
So, well, we don't know for sure, obviously, but it looks like they're leaning towards not Robert Downey Jr. playing Victor Von Doom, but he's playing an evil Tony Stark, right? And that he would be the #1 nemesis to Reed Richards.
It's funny that they called him Dr. Doom and not Victor. So maybe that will come back later. Who knows?
Yeah, right, and that's intentional because he's not Victor Von Doom. And it kind of makes sense that you would have somebody like Tony Stark, who's very powerful, he's very rich. You could take that and you can use it for good or for evil.
So it'd be like one giant what if episode.
It could be one episode. And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up because there was a comic book. Now, apparently there are multiple storylines with Tony Stark as Dr. Doom. But there was just one issue in particular, one comic book, issue #1 called What If Demon in an Armor, which is a take of Demon in a Bottle. That's a comic book from years back.
Yes,
so this one came out in 20. Yes, exactly right. He was battling alcohol.
Fun fact, this came out the same year Iron Man 2 was supposed to come out, and that was meant to be the big plot.
Okay, so you're talking about the Demon in the Armor?
No, Demon in the Armor was supposed to be the big plot like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there are two reasons. One, I'm pretty sure RDJ's family was concerned about him. And also, Marvel didn't want to have their golden juice being seen on they kind of capped that idea.
Wow, I did not think about that. And that makes sense because, yes, he did, Robert Downey did have his problem with alcohol. So.
Yeah, he's like a straight and narrow now, but there was a point where he was on the curve of the line.
Yeah. So to have him come back and play a character who is an alcoholic might be too close to him.
Also, Hancock came out the same year.
I remember Hancock, yeah.
That was pretty much the same thing. So the idea was dead on arrival.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, forgot
Just a
about
little
that.
tidbit of knowledge.
Yeah. Anything else we want to talk about regarding Robert Downey as Dr. Doom? Okay. All right. So we know 2025 is a very important year for Marvel fans, right? So remember last year, remember last year there was only one film that Marvel released.
Yeah, but
Deadpool Wolverine, and that made right? That made boatload of money. Did it make $1 million?
$1 billion, yeah.
$1 billion?
Went over $1 billion, I believe. It's like the most domestically grossing R-rated movie. Or like the biggest box office total.
Yeah.
The Joker.
Deadpool and Wolverine was a success for Marvel. They said, okay, we only need one movie last year, 2024. But this year, we've got 3 coming out, right?
Yeah, and like 3 TV shows as well.
Yes, right. So we're going to spend time to talk about the 3 films. The first one was Captain America: Brave New World, which came out in February. We did see it. It's been a while, but what is your take about the film? Anything that stands out?
That was pretty good. Adamantium was great because actually I don't really know what they're gonna do with that. Considering they're bringing in, I'm assuming they're gonna bring in Hugh Jackman because at this point he's in the universe. I mean, it makes sense for him to show up. So maybe they'll have him show up or not. I'd be fine with that. I think Hugh Jackman is Wolverine is the next horse. But
Do you ever think that they will eventually replace Hugh Jackman with a younger actor?
I think so.
Yeah.
Actually, I think so. Not in the sense that I want Hugh Jackman out the door, because I think he's a great actor, especially as Wolverine. But at some point, you're going to need to have a new roster of X-Men, and having Hugh Jackman keep coming back and playing the same character, if everybody else gets recast, would not make sense. So if they could do what they did, cast somebody who embodies the character, I think everyone would be like, hey, we can play it off. If you remember when he first cast, everyone had problems because he was like 6 feet tall and not 5'2", how he was supposed to be. But now everyone loves him.
Yes. I can't imagine anybody else playing that role, but you're right. I mean, if they want this franchise to continue on, it's natural.
Yeah, they gotta have somebody else carry it.
Exactly, right. And it happens with Superman, Batman, recasting, Spider-Man, we know that. So it's inevitable. It doesn't take anything away from Jackman's performances because he is one of the best actors out there right now of his generation. So
I think definitely Wolverine was a pretty good end to the character without it having to be like, him dying. So that was fantastic.
anything else? What else about Captain? Brave New World that stands out.
Brave
Okay.
New World in a world.
That's it in a word. Okay.
That's great.
Well, all right. Okay. Yeah. So my take is it was a good movie. It was not bad. It could have been better. I can tell that for they were trying to make this movie for 2 years, 3 years time, and
Yeah.
there were delays and then there were rewrites and reshoots. So you could tell that it didn't feel coherent
Yeah, I know
throughout.
a lot of people say it felt janky.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I kind of agree looking back on plot wise. Also, the leader looked disgusting, but he was actually painful to look at.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he was very impactful either because I don't remember anything that he said or did.
Yeah, I do remember his voice, and the only reason I remember his voice is because he sounds exactly like the dude from Battle Whale. Like,
That's too
like that voice, essentially.
bad.
So he was like,
Yeah.
I've planned everything. He didn't have the fact that you would think a guy with that massive of a cranium, that insane, like, forehead to face ratio, bro. You would think he'd be smarter than that. But he could plan for getting arrested
Yeah.
and then getting thrown into the lab.
He was very underused, right? And I think, were you done?
I was gonna say, like, you think he'd be like the big guns?
Yeah.
Like, he would be like Thanos, planning for the shadows for years, and then make his big appearance and absolutely destroy the Avengers, and then they would have to come back and outsmart these guys. Because his whole gimmick is that he thinks of everything and every possibility. So,
One of the things that make Marvel the films so great, so epic, is the villain. Marvel's had their trouble with creating strong villains. Of course, it hits with Thanos, and then there are some misses. Yes, right. So I think that's what was happening in the Captain America film. That they didn't really have that major villain. And then we also had Society, Giancarlo Esposito's character was Society. Yeah, okay.
and I feel like it was trying to be a sequel to Two Little Girls. It's really trouble to like that where it's supposed to fully establish set up the Avengers roster, tie up all the loose plot ends to Incredible Hulk, which came out the same year as Iron Man. So they could have wrapped just as well as the MCU. And still saying Go on. I'm just going to call it General Solo.
Okay.
Yeah, Captain too much of a film.
It was a lot, yeah, and I agree with you. And I think what this movie should have been primarily is that it established Anthony Mackie as the new Captain America, right? And I think that maybe got overshadowed by, like you said, there were other things that were going on. Um, I like the idea of Harrison Ford taking over the role as Ross. It was good seeing the Red Hulk. I mean, it's the first time seeing the Red Hulk on screen, but I don't know if we're ever going to see this character again.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think this character is going to play into Doomsday or Secret Wars. Okay, yeah.
Harrison Ford is a great actor.
Yeah, sure.
My only problem with the film is that they spoiled the Red Hulk being in it. I think that was like a Hail Mary pass because they wanted to bring in all the box office money they could. They still did it, of course. But like, if they had just kept that in the film without putting it in like every promotional part, then I think it would have been a greater shot to people who bought Marvel because they would have seen it. That would have been awesome because you figure with General Ross, so he would end up being the Red Hulk because that's his thing.
So you think it would have been best if they would have just would not have seen the Red Hulk in the trailers or anything like that, and then wait until the actual movie.
He was the best.
Red Hulk.
That's great.
I think that's although it was helpful because it gave us something to get excited about. Right, exactly. I think maybe that was another problem that the film had. When you watched the first trailer, there wasn't anything really going on. But now until the second trailer, we actually saw the Red Hulk, and I think people were like, "Oh, okay, well, we got something going."
I think it was trying to. I think it was trying to be Captain America: The Winter Soldier without being Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
But I think the important thing to this film is that we know, for better or for worse, you know, it's controversial still, that Anthony Mackie is now the new Captain America. I'm good with it. I think Mackie is a very good actor.
Yeah,
He looks good in the role, right? And we're
They gave him
definitely,
a really cool scene.
and we're definitely going to see more.
Yeah,
Right?
my only problem is
You mean like a helmet?
yeah, like we don't have to put that helmet.
Well, he didn't have one in the comics,
Yeah,
but they could change
that
that.
was still there.
No,
Well, I mean, the guy flies around all the time, so if he ever hits a building, he's gonna get brain damage.
I hear what you're saying, right? Because of course he's not, you know, he doesn't have a super soldier serum. He's not. But I think that's what distinguishes him between Steve Rogers' Captain America and Matthew's Captain America. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
We got casting announcement for Avengers Doomsday like 2 months ago. We've just been sitting on this information.
Yeah. Okay. I think they announced it too soon. I was actually hoping that they would wait until at least until the Fantastic Four came.
Yeah, or after Thunderbolts.
So
What happened is releasing the casting announcement kind of shot themselves in the foot. Because when we knew all the Fantastic Four was going to survive, I mean, it's only logical for all of them to make it to Doomsday and Secret Wars. I don't think we had the same expectation with Thunderbolts. And now that they've released the casting list, we know that all of them are going to survive, which kind of undermines the market.
me time.
Scrap the team and fight each other all the time.
Yeah.
You think somebody will kick the bucket. And
Bye.
Taskmaster, I don't believe, was on the
Me
casting list.
tired.
And also is barely in the trailer. So, and the scene that they did show of her in the trailers was the same scene, just different parts of it. So that just things that make me go,
Yeah.
Also, Taskmaster's not that beloved of a character. Bro is not mastering tasks.
Yeah. This character was in the Black Widow film, right? A couple years back.
A film that
Yeah.
5 people saw.
But that, okay. Yeah, we're not going to go into Black Widow, but that was a few years back. But Yeah, I don't think Taskmaster came out to be the character that we wanted to see. I don't know.
You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then they just get rid of this Taskmaster and have a different person show up as Taskmaster, and then Taskmaster.
Okay, that can start.
This Taskmaster could have made for somebody who's interesting. Actually, you know the problem that I don't honestly have to think about it. I'm gonna get to that later, but Taskmaster could have
Hey.
fight scenes on, and then all of that. Because the whole point is that the comic Taskmaster mirrors the moves of these enemies. So they have her in the movie, right? And then he goes to the character at all, but it's the same thing. That's her in the movie, bro. That's like big. So they barely even use it, which kind of made me upset.
Gotcha. So we were talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Under this roster, we have like three characters doing the same thing. Because after you think about it, like U.S. Agent is the replacement Captain America. Red Guardian is the Soviet Captain America. And Taskmaster is like a lady with a shield and Liberty. So they kind of have like the same power set. And even Taskmaster just has the skills to within his territory as far as like type combat skills. So
Yeah. Yeah. Let's.
kind of makes sense for Taskmaster to exit the field.
Okay. Well, we don't know. We haven't seen it yet, right? But we plan to see it after this recording. But all right. So let's get into the cast announcement. So, like you said, it was announced in March. It was this long 2-hour video, which I don't know. Anyway, so we saw
Yeah, with the
these
giant
chairs.
lights.
Yes, the chairs, and you saw the names of the actors that are going to be in Doomsday. So we got a lot of Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Mackie, Vanessa Kirby, Paul Rudd, Florence Pugh, Trina Quinta, Stephen Booth, Sebastian Stan, Keisha Wright, Evan Moss Bacharach, Kelsey Grammer, Louis Pullman, Daniel Ramirez, Joseph
Hey.
David
Ah.
Harbour, Winston
Ah.
Hannah John Kamen, Tom Hiddleston, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alan Cumming, Rebecca Romaine, James Marsden, and Channing Tatum, along with Pedro Pascal and Robert Downey
Tatum, that's not correct.
Jr. Okay, so
W. Gambit.
yeah, okay. So we got the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers all being represented. You know,
Yeah.
we got
They're missing like all the X-Men. Like,
what?
where's the rest of them?
Yes.
Jean Grey,
Let's talk about
Okay.
that.
Spider-Man. Where's my boy?
Boy, who?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Where's Spider-Man?
Did-
Where's Hawkeye?
Okay.
I know Hawkeye kind of retired.
Okay. All right. So you just listed a lot of characters who are not listed here.
Yeah.
We do know that this is not a complete list.
Yeah.
We could see more actors getting on board. Maybe there are contract negotiations that are going on at the moment, but we don't know, right? But you're right. I don't. Halle Berry, Famke Janssen. We got Storm and Jean Grey. They got to be right. Okay. And you're right. Spider-Man. How can you have Secret Wars without Spider-Man? So we'll talk about that.
Isn't that like kind of, I don't know,
Keep
Spider-Man?
quiet.
That's when he gets the black suit and becomes symbiote Spider-Man. Symbiote, not symbiote.
Right, yeah. And these characters so far are in line with the superheroes you see in superheroes from the comic books, right? So far so good. Now the question I have for you is the list that I just announced. Is there somebody on this list that you're surprised to see? Okay. I got a couple. That's okay. Let me just make sure that he's on here. I think I saw his.
Tom Hiddleston, actually, that kind of surprised me.
That was a surprise. Which okay, yeah, I agree. That's a surprise, but that's a good surprise. Now, someone who I think is on here. I'm going to say who I don't know if necessarily needs to be. You know what? I don't see this person's name, so maybe. All right. So Channing Tatum.
Oh, how dare
Okay. Everyone loves it. Okay.
I was able to watch his
Oh,
mouth out
speed.
and get him a cowl that fits his head. I think Tatum would actually be
Okay. All right. I'm pretty much good with everyone else. Shang-Chi. I don't know his connection to the Avengers. He's not an X-Men. He's not one of the Fantastic Four.
he has been an Avenger on multiple occasions.
So you're saying in the comic books, Shang-Chi has been working with the Avengers?
Yeah.
Okay. The only
I
problem
think
is,
everyone's working with everyone except for
yeah, well, the only problem is, as far as the films, there's no connection.
he hasn't done anything yet.
Well, that's my point. Like, so what gave him what? How did he earn a place in Doomsday?
Leading the 10 rings are pretty valuable.
Okay.
And he's currently the dude who has it. So it might not be a bad idea to invite him to the fight so he could politely send it up to you to I don't know wherever they're gonna banish him. Probably to Battleworld.
And I was very surprised to see that a lot of the Thunderbolts are being represented here. I was not expecting that outside of Yelena. But why do we were just talking about that? Why David Harbour? Why do we need Ghost?
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
I said it kind of ruins the stakes.
Understood.
But you have no problem with them being a part of it.
That's correct.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the latest honestly
Yes.
haven't been a bit like that.
It's understood.
Also, U.S. agent. Why not?
But I don't.
Understood.
Yeah. Well, Wyatt Russell is not on this list. Unless I left him off the list, but I don't think he's announced. So do you think that's giving us a heads up as to what happened to the special agent? Look it up. Okay. All right. So let me know. All right. You talked about some of the characters that you wanted to see in Avengers Doomsday. Now we do have Secret Wars, right? I was hoping that somehow we would see She-Hulk in Secret Wars. I think she's a very good character. She belongs on the Avengers.
Apparently, he's on the casting list.
So Wyatt Russell's on the casting list? Okay. I must have left him off the list then.
Okay.
Again, that's a lot of representation of Thunderbolts.
Correct.
I mean, it makes sense to have all of the Thunderbolts.
But why? I mean, what? Okay, I know, I'm comparing it to the comic books, but what connection do they? I know I'm asking a question that we're probably going to answer to most of the right? So,
Well, they're kind of like the MCU's only team right now.
okay. All right, I still need a reason.
Everybody else is either disbanded or in disarray.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has no life now. The Avengers have been happening since 2019. Even the government.
Oh,
Are you cheating? Okay. All right, let's podcast.
no.
Yeah.
Everything's so distributed. Everything's during COVID. They just started putting out show after show after show. And tying all the projects together. Which I think is what they were trying to do. But that makes it up to too much. So, who knows?
Okay. Let's move on then. All right. So our next topic is the Fantastic Four, which we have coming out in the theaters July 25th of this year. All right. We have an official trailer, which is you saw the official trailer. Yeah. Did not see the trailer.
Not at the time.
All right. When we get home, you need to see the trailer. So I won't tell you. Silver Surfer is in it. Galactus, maybe. Okay. All right. So it has this retro 1960s feel to it, which is nice. I like the set design, the photography, the costume design, all working well. They're, actually, you know what? I don't need to say anything else because you haven't seen the trailer. I thought you did. So,
Okay.
no, it's fine. It's fine. No, I want want you to watch the trailer. You know, just the other thing I would say is that it's about family, right? So you know the Fantastic Four.
You know, I can see British right now.
Yeah, no, okay. Yeah, I just assumed you saw the trailer. But anyway, Fantastic Four comes out in July. Can't wait for that one.
Me and Sue are having today.
Yes, they are.
Probably gonna be twins.
White twins.
The comics, twins. Harley Quinn. I forget the daughter's name.
Yeah, I actually thought it was just the son.
I'm
So
pretty sure it's like those, like, you know, major level people.
okay.
The guy's head is like at some point.
All right. While you're looking that up, all right, let's move on. So let's talk about Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man is not officially the MCU,
Yeah,
but
Valeria. I would like to look at this. Yeah, Franklin and Valeria.
okay, well, they're going to play a role now.
Valeria, more like Latveria.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. Finally got your wish. We're going to get him.
Spider-Man Brand New Day, more like Spider-Man Darkest Hour.
Okay. All right, so here's the controversy. Okay, so Brand New Day, new film starring Tom Holland, Sadie Sink from Stranger Things. She is on the rise. I mean, she is everywhere right now. She actually, I think she got a Tony nomination. She has a series, not a series, but maybe she has I think it's a TV special or a movie on Hulu, I think.
Stranger Things season 5 is coming out this year.
Yeah, so yeah, she is someone to watch out for. All right, directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Release date July 31st, 2026. All right. There is a comic book out there called Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm not saying that it's going to be based on a comic book, but if you wanted to get an idea of what this movie could be about, this is the restart to all the previous Spider-Man comic book series that are out there where people have forgotten that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and he's really starting from scratch. And Aunt May is alive. Now, this gives us a little hope. This gives us a little hope, Keith, because I know No Way Home is not.
What's the accurate rating?
So maybe the case, but could they have maybe take maybe what would happen in No Way Home and forget what happened in No Way Home and start over? Could that be what they're going for? Like,
I mean, I know there's a comic book called One More Day, which is like where Peter one day trades his marriage with MJ to get his aunt back.
okay, all right, yeah, I think there's a series like there's a Brand New Day. Is it one more day? You said?
Yeah.
Okay,
That was 2009.
Yeah.
That's the comic that Blue Spider-Man is mini comic.
gotcha. Okay.
I don't think anyone.
Yes, right. I heard that the comic book series is not very good, but anyway, I'd like to read it and just get a general idea of where this movie may be going. But I think they would be on the right track if they were to say, okay, well, we know what happened in No Way Home, but we're going to change it around. Like maybe it might be in a multiverse. But that again gives you a little bit of hope, right? That at least Aunt May will be back, and that Peter Parker will become Spider-Man, or still is Spider-Man, and people will eventually, I don't know if he's going to reveal his secret identity like he did in the last trilogy, but I think it sounds promising.
Do you remember those zombies episode?
Barely, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a reference to Uncle Ben. And I'm pretty sure the way What If works is that everything up to the point where the change occurs is canon in the MCU. So that would mean that Peter Parker, this is about 2018 when the apocalypse started. So that means Peter Parker had an Uncle Ben or something from the MCU.
Yeah.
So I guess he just wasn't that great of a character. Because, you know,
Uncle Ben?
yeah, you would think you would give him great power and great responsibility, but then they passed it off to Aunt May, and now Peter has no family. So he's basically a work.
I get what you're saying, but maybe this new film will change it. I don't know. We know very little about it. But again, it does come out. Now this is interesting. So I was looking at the timeline. So Avengers Doomsday releases May 1st, 2026. Brand New Day comes out 2 months after. All right. So it seems it's confirmed we're not going to see Spider-Man in Doomsday. However, more than likely we will see him in Super Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. So again, Avengers Doomsday will be released on May 1st, 2026. Secret Wars, May 7th, 2027. Both films will be directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, and we know their track record. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're the ones behind Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame.
Yeah,
So
they're like
yeah.
0 for 3 with their movies.
Yes.
Three for
And they
oh.
also directed Winter Soldier.
So 4 for
Yeah.
sure.
Those
4 for
are,
0 with making a great MCU.
and arguably, those are like four of the best films in the MCU.
Those will all be in my top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Last story that we have, and this is interesting because this is a recent story. It just came out a couple of days ago. Jeremy Renner not returning to Hawkeye season 2. All right. So, according to Deadline magazine, and there were other trade papers who were reporting this, that the actor claims he was offered half of his original season 1 salary by the penny pinchers of his, in quotes. What's more, Renner says this happened after his devastating 2023 snowplow accident, which nearly cost him his life and took months of rehabilitation to recover from, adding insult to the injury. Speaking to the High Performance Sports podcast and sounding rather perturbed, Renner said, they asked me to do season 2 and they offered me half the money. I'm like, wow, it's going to take me twice the amount of work for half the amount of the money. 8 months of my time, essentially, and you do it for half the amount. I'm like, I'm sorry, why? Did you think that I'm only half the Jeremy because I got run over? Huh. And is that why they want to pay me half of what I made in the first season? Now, of course, if you remember, we had a very serious snowplow accident, I think happened in 2023. I mean, he was near death, but he survived. And then here's the thing. So now he adds, and this is not Marvel. My juice is like this like Disney. It's not even really Disney. It's just the penny pinchers, the accountants. I told him to go fly a kite at the insult offer. And so we didn't see eye to eye on it, sadly. I still love the character. I would still love to do it. But I had to defend myself. I didn't ask for any more money, mind you. Just pay me what you paid me the first season. So it's a little disheartening that didn't happen, but that's fine. I'm happy to let that go because my body's probably thanking me and I'm not doing that right now. What do you think of this story, Keith? Because I had some thoughts.
That's awful personal opinion. Like, so, effectively, like, point that, you know, I thought Hawkeye was retired. I didn't even know they were going to make this season 2. I didn't think they needed. What they needed to do was make a young Avengers movie. And maybe Hawkeye could be like a chaperone for their class trip. And then you can finally spend some time with his family.
Yes, so yes, he would be retired and he's right, spending time with his family.
Yeah, maybe they should just do that. And that way, he can still be retired and not have to come back despite
Got it. Right. And he doesn't have to work too long, right? Okay. All right. You done?
Yeah. What?
I-
Talk to you?
No. I want to give my opinion. I just want to make sure you're done.
Yeah.
This sounds like a PR stunt. This sounds like Jeremy Renner reaching out to Marvel and Disney and telling them, I want to be in Hawkeye season 2. I'm ready to do it. And I want you to pay me what I'm worth. Now, and the reason why I say that this sounds like a PR stunt is this part, where he says this is not Marvel and it's not even really Disney, that it's the penny pinchers, the accountants. Why is a big celebrity, big actor like Jeremy Renner talking to a camera. You
Yeah,
talking
when
about?
you're making deals with essentially the label
Well,
or
exactly.
the actual like executives.
You should be having a conversation with Kevin Feige about your salary, right? So to me, first of all, I'm not saying that this is not a true story, but it just I can't. It doesn't make sense to me that a big star like him is talking to a camera, right? So I think Jeremy, what he's telling us is that he's ready to come back. He wants to be in Hawkeye season 2. Hopefully, we'll get Haley Steinfeld to be back as well, Kate Bishop, and you're right. It would be, he may not be the focal point, but he still needs to be there to kind of pass the torch to Kate Bishop.
Yeah, but it's not kind of a retread last season.
Yes, right. But I think because it's such a gap between, you know, when did that be? 22? Like, it was, well, really, 21. Well, it was a long time ago. So I think we still need to have them both back, and then there's this final realization that Hawkeye is retiring. He's putting his crime fighting days behind him, and he passes along Kate Bishop, and then we go into Young Avengers. I think that's the next step.
You know, Hawkeye's like death at this point.
Yes, you're right. I forgot about that. He has a hearing aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, about it. Him and Daredevil like
Why is that? Oh, you have to explain to me.
one of them can't see, the other one can't hear.
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Yes. Okay.
I
Very
didn't understand that.
Yes.
What am I doing?
All right. So we are getting ready to go see Thunderbolts, right? We're seeing it. Yes. We are. Yeah, we're seeing it in IMAX 4DX.
Ah, yes, so I can spill my popcorn.
Yeah, I said that I wasn't going to do this anymore. I wasn't going to do 4DX because I just, we did it a couple of years ago. We went to see Gaga wrestling. Was not a fan of 4DX format, but
Indiana Jones, did you get that email I sent you?
what? Help me out, Keith. What do you know?
We'll talk later.
Okay, talk. Okay, all right. So we're gonna watch the movie. We're gonna do a spoiler review. All right, we're gonna talk about it, and then I guess we'll take it from there, right? Okay. So I'm very excited. Been hearing a lot about this movie. Sounds like it has a high Rotten Tomatoes score. People are enjoying the film. People are saying that Marvel's back. This is the best film since Infinity War. Actually, the best film since Endgame. We'll check it out and we'll judge it ourselves. All right.
I am very, very
Okay. Anything else we want to talk about? I think we are done then. So thank you very much. I want to give a shout out to Pete Schumacher, who is the manager of this Professional Theater, and the team here. They've been very nice to us. We didn't talk about the set. They went out of their way to put the set behind us. Yes, this is exactly where we're going. So thank you very much for having us. We hope to be back for Fantastic Four in July. We're looking forward to it. This is exciting. Okay. Keith, you want to tell people where they can find us? Thank you so much, everyone. This is a wonderful time. And we will be back, with a spoiler review of Thunderbolts as soon as we can. So, until next time, take care. We will see you again.